exploring a massive Spanish supermarket. So I had such a good time checking out a Romanian supermarket for the first time last week. My mind was blown. Not just how much different like food variety and the different food quality, how much nicer it seemed. It looks like an Apple supermarket to me. It was so nice. I don't know if this one's going to be as nice as that, but I'm just really pumped to see what Spain has on the shelves in their supermarket. God knows it's much better than probably what we have on ours here in the US. So without further ado, let's just hop right into this one.
Mountains of ham, rivers of olive oil, and lakes of wine. Today we're going to explore one of the largest supermarkets in Madrid so I can show you what we eat, what we drink in this country, the wonderful, unique Spanish snacks there are, and so you can also see how is it different from your supermarket back home, a typical Spanish supermarket. So venga, let's go.
Okay, and if you haven't seen my Romanian one, go check it out. It just came out, I think, maybe like 4 or 5 days ago. That one, I did see some of the comments afterwards. Everyone said that it was like the nicest supermarket in all of Romania. This one, he said, is more of a typical supermarket, so I'm expecting it to be a little more average.
Hey guys, I'm James Blick and welcome to Spain Revealed. This channel is all about helping you explore and understand Spain like a local. And there's nothing more local than checking out a supermarket in a country. They're kind of like museums of current culture, if that makes any sense. They reveal how we live our lives, what's important to us. So we're going to dive into this enormous supermarket. But one of the concerns I have is that we don't have permission to film. I'm worried they might kick us out. So we're going to go guerrilla. Yoli's filming on the iPhone. So we're going to pretend to shop normally and try and show you what's going on inside, and we're going to keep it a little bit low-key and quiet, so shh, let's go in. So it's like I'm walking through a ham jungle. We eat so much ham in this country, and there is a section in the supermarket purely for ham. I'm surrounded by it. They're sweating.
I have never seen anything like this in a supermarket. Look at all the meat just like hanging up like that. That is so foreign to me. Look how much there is. There's like aisles of it.
They look delicious. All the different grades. Jamón serrano, jamón ibérico. Of course, if you're here for a brief amount of time,
Holy
stick
cow.
to the ibérico. It's just so good. A little more expensive. And they also cut it by hand here for you. So you have the ibérico. It's just so good.
It comes in a box?
A little more expensive. And they also cut it by hand here for you, so you have to choose your grade. For the person who has everything, you need to get them a collapsible ham stand. So you can collapse it, have it at Christmas, have your ham done at Christmas, then stick it in the spare room, collapsed for the rest of the year. A lot of people just have a ham at home just at Christmas. We've also got over here hams that come in boxes. So many ways you can buy ham. Find the cheapest ham and the most expensive ham so you can see the difference. This one.
I'm not like a big ham eater either. It's probably the one meat I like the least amount. That all looks really good though. I would definitely try it for sure. I think because growing up here in the States, the only time we ate ham was on like Christmas or Thanksgiving. And the way that they cook it, it's like an oven roasted ham. I don't know. I was just never a huge fan of it. I might actually like it now. It's been so long since I've eaten ham like that. This ham though, like the meat, like especially like that they slice it up for you, I bet it's probably amazing.
One down here in front of me is from the Alpujarras from Granada, and it's 30 euros for the whole ham.
That's
so
it?
White hoof pig, serrano ham, probably not cured that long. 30 euros for that whole thing. That is, I don't think I've ever seen it that cheap. Let's find the most expensive. Okay, the most expensive is Cinco Jotas, 5J, you'll see it. And it's a ham here that is just the ham. You also get some other cured meat with it and a
It looks like a bottle of like expensive tequila or something. That is insane. Oh my gosh.
Knife, but you're gonna pay 560.
Wait, did he say it comes with a knife?
5J, you'll see it. And it's a ham here that is just the ham. You also get some other cured meat with it and a knife, but you're gonna pay 569 euros. So that's a lot. That's like 1,000,000% more. I'm sure it's not, but you get the idea. 30 euros or 500 odd euros, the difference. So ham for everyone, for all budgets. Of course, it's not just ham, the jamón that we get from the pig. You've got so many other forms of cured pork here. There's 1, 2, 3, there's about 3 or 4 aisles of cured pork products packed up. We eat a lot of pork in this country. I'm not sure what the statistics are, but it's insane. For the person who loves cured meats at Christmas, serious envelope of this stuff. My God. So to give you an idea of cured meat prices here, they can go pretty cheap. 5 euros, and you got 300 grams of a whole selection here of ham, probably pretty average ham, chorizo, salchichon, the whole deal. But yeah, I'd stick away from this stuff.
That looks phenomenal.
Be a bit rough. These are not tapas, just in case you're confused when you arrive. Small little crackers with nothing on them are not tapas. My favorite cured meats in this country
What are they?
is a Catalan cured sausage called fuet, F-U-E-T. It means whip in Catalan, because it's shaped like a whip and it's narrow. But it is so yummy. Perfect with
How
wine, little
funny.
slices, my God. Once you start, you cannot stop, and you'll eat the whole fuet. I've been there.
Look at all of the ham behind him. Obviously, that's where he just walked past. Like, this does seem really, really nice, by the way. I know I said I wasn't sure if it would be. It looks great. I love it when they do, like, black walls and then, like, put all the meat and everything around the black. It just makes it seem such higher quality for some reason. I know there's no reason that it would be because of the black wall, but we have meats like this in our grocery store. It's just like a section. I can't even, maybe, and I'm gonna have to go by feet, maybe like 20 feet long by 5 feet wide, and it's just like it's like a centerpiece that is near where the butcher is and all the other meats, and it's not that large. Like one of these that he's standing in front of, we have that, and that's it. One of these little...
Addictive. Here's a paradox.
What the hell is the word? Why can't I think of the word for this, where you hold all the meat in the... It's not an aisle. I don't know. I sound stupid now. Let's keep...
Understand this country, and if you live in Spain, please let me know. You can give me an insight. Pechuga de pavo, turkey breast. You see it everywhere in this country in these slices, but nobody eats turkey apart from this, so you can't buy turkey. So
Really?
we're eating all this turkey breast, and there's no turkeys. What are we doing with the rest of it? Is this turkey breast? Is this turkey? Please let me know in the comments below, because I'm kind of fascinated. I think there might be a conspiracy. Hang on, I solved it. There's another bit of turkey here. Taquitos de pavo. Little cubes of highly natural turkey. So there it is. That's where the rest of it goes, I guess, into taquitos. We got a deal on pig's brains, $150 for 2, and a deal on pig's snout, $160
What?
for 2. So the snout's a little more expensive than the brains. So funny that. So you can see all the fishmongers behind me, and I've always been so impressed by the fish sections in supermarkets here in Spain. There's so much variety.
Yeah,
particularly
that's
a huge
crazy.
amount of variety also of prawns, langostinos, all these different varieties have different
Holy shit. Look at all of that. Oh my gosh. I have never seen something like this in my life. This much fish.
names in Spanish, but in English we
What?
seem
It
to
keeps
not
going?
have as many names. Maybe there's scientific names, but really, really impressive.
Oh.
These guys, they'll
I mean, maybe like when you're near the beach and you're at like a fish market, that's the only place you'll see that.
cut the fish up for you, they'll scale it, they'll gut it, everything. They'll ask you how you're going to cook it. So this is a pretty
Really?
impressive selection. Most of Spain's fish, seafood, comes through the north, from the lonjas or the fish markets in the north of the country, particularly in Galicia. So if you ever see these in a supermarket, gulas, what they are is actually fake baby eel, named after angulas, which are real baby eels and are about €1,000 a kilo because they've been overfished. And so I think it was in the 80s, company made up these fake ones, which are made from like surimi, like crab meat with a K, and they are painted like
Yeah.
baby eels. Everyone knows they're fake.
Why not everyone, though?
Well, not everyone. Okay, not everyone knows they're fake. And it says La Auténtica, the authentic fake baby eel. And particularly popular in the Basque Country in the north, you do a stir fry with chili or garlic. Strange little cultural thing. So here we have a mixture of two types of anchovies called a matrimonio, or a marriage. It's vinegar marinated anchovies and salt cured anchovies, and you actually often eat them together, and that's why it's called a matrimonio, or a marriage. They're perfect when combined, and they are sold
might be
shrink
good.
wrapped and combined. So I bet you don't have that back home.
No.
Shrink wrapped razor clams. Shrink wrapped razor clams. That one's easier to say. Sea snails, anyone? At $14.99 a kilo. So I don't know how many
What?
little bunches you need to make a kilo of sea snails, but you'll find out when you come visit. So I come from New Zealand, where fresh milk is a religion. And here, when I moved to Spain, it's all about UHT milk. That means it lasts and doesn't have to be refrigerated. It's the same in France as well. And so this fresh milk section here is tiny, and the UHT, the pre-treated heat, well, however it's said, is like 2 or 3 aisles of that stuff. So what's the difference? More or less fat? I don't know. When you come and it's summer, drink horchata. Ideally get the good horchata. This is a little bit industrial.
I like
but it's
horchata.
not the horchata that you might think of from Mexico, which I think is made with
Okay.
rice milk. But this is from chupas, or tiger nuts, and is the most refreshing drink in summer. Horchata. There's a lot of horchata here. Different flavors, different types. Does your supermarket at home have prepackaged pig's ear? I highly doubt it. You can buy your
No.
rabbit whole or in bits. So €7 for a whole rabbit. Never been a big rabbit fan, but yeah, not bad. Of course, the
Oh, you're not a rabbit fan? Rabbit is so good. What is that? €7? That's so cheap for a rabbit. Gosh, when's the last time I seen rabbit in a store? Had to have been when I lived in California like 6 or 7 years ago.
So €7 for a whole rabbit. Never been a big rabbit.
Or when I used to
But
go hunting.
Not bad. Of course, the classic blood sausage. Really do try it when you come here. It's delicious, especially the stuff with rice in it. $2.70.
I can't wait to try blood sausage. I'm so
8
curious.
Slices of blood sausage on the grill. Really, really good. A little bit crunchy, and it's a new superfood. Blood sausage is the new kale, full of whatever it's full of. It's good for you. So give it to your kids. When you're buying coffee in a supermarket, you'll see mezcla, mix, or natural. Mezcla mix means that it's part natural coffee beans, being roasted naturally, and part torrefacto.
That guy walking by
Means
is like,
that it's part natural coffee beans, being roasted naturally.
what the hell are you doing, man?
And part torrefacto, which is a process where a little bit of sugar is burnt onto the coffee beans, has a kind of a crazy history. I'll put a link to an article down below about it. But you want, in my opinion, natural. The mezcla tastes really burnt and hard, and I love that it's called bonka. The whole mezcla natural thing just drove me bonkers when I first moved here, because I was like, why does the coffee taste so terrible? And I was buying mezcla, even some of the natural stuff. So I don't know, do you like it? Let me know below if you're super into Spanish torrefacto coffee. There might be 3 of you. The word donut actually does exist in Spanish, but it refers to this specific brand, donuts. If you say, I'm gonna have a donut, that's what you're gonna have, this brand, and it's a donut. But if you're saying plural, you have people say donus. They don't say the T. It's like, quiero unos donuts. T gets skipped. Why does the T get skipped out? Too hard? Too hard. T's too hard. I moved originally to France before I lived in Spain, and they had these at breakfast, these like little toast things that are like little hard breads. I find it really weird because it's like, you either have toast or you have bread, but there's this sort of pre-toasted crunchy thing. So something a lot of people eat for breakfast are magdalenas, which are like really simple cupcakes, and I actually got really into them when I first moved here and put on a lot of weight, so full of crap. But
I was just gonna say, everyone that loves like pastry breakfasts, I get it because they taste really good. For me personally, in the morning, I usually just like something. If I am gonna eat breakfast, which I don't always, I just like some protein, like some eggs or something. If I have some leftover steak, I'll just cook my steak and throw a fried egg over it and eat that. Occasionally I might have a bagel with like cream cheese, but I'm not big into like, a lot of people here in America will go get donuts in the morning, like on the weekend, bring in donuts, especially if you're going to an event like a football game or something along those lines. Everyone will have a donut, and I usually pass on the donuts. I'm like, I'll eat this at dessert. I just don't like big pastry sweet stuff in the morning.
So be careful. Another obsession of mine when I first moved here was pan de leche, or milk bread. These little soft, pillowy, cloud-like sweet bread things. I was obsessed. It contributed to my weight gain, and I loved it. The Bimbo brand. Bimbo. A word that's a little different in English. So a candy that's quite big here, but potentially racist, are conguitos. Little chocolate candies, which obviously conguito means, what, little people from the Congo? Yeah, little people from the Congo, so maybe that's from the dictatorship, not sure.
Don't let anyone see that from America. They'll start a protest over it.
Time, I think, on that one. Might need to tweak that. So for all my Kiwi friends out there, the Milo of Spain is colacao, this chocolate drink, warm chocolate drink that kids drink it, adults drink it, everybody drinks colacao. A lot of people still drink colacao even into their mature years. I heard someone order one in a bar the other day with extra frothy milk.
Let's see the chocolate.
Chocolate behind you. Marmite. I got Yoli into Marmite after a few years, and now she loves it.
So we're taking one home.
So we're taking some Marmite home because we're almost out. This is the English Marmite, not the Kiwi Marmite. We're almost out of Kiwi Marmite. So
what was the other mite thing that we covered? They put it on bread. Oh gosh, was it Vegemite? Is that what it was? Is Marmite like that?
Tried Marmite, you will hate it for the first 5 years when you try it, but then one day, all you will want that morning for breakfast is Marmite. Trust me, you gotta work through those 5 years though. We're in the aperitif section. Nuts, potato chips, and olives. Potato chip flavors are a precise reflection of what people eat when they're not eating potato chips. And so, one of my favorite guilty pleasures is jamón flavored potato chips. These, man, once you start, you will never stop. When I grew up, it was chicken flavored chips in New Zealand, and here sabor a jamón, it's such a guilty flavor.
Chicken flavored
Rufles,
chips,
how we say ruffles here. Ham flavored, out of control. Try them if you come. Do you have ham flavored Pringles back home?
What? No way.
Ham flavored Pringles. Never really been a big fan of Pringles. They always taste like, like dehydrated potato or something. Always tastes a bit funny. But ham flavored,
I'm not a big
even in the
chip
Pringles.
eater.
A very Spanish combination of flavors is garlic and parsley. One of my favorite dishes, gambas.
I don't like snacks. I don't know. Is anyone else like that? I'm just not a big snack eater. I just like meals. I don't know. I don't snack around. Everyone in my family does. All my kids, my wife, everyone snacks all day long.
Your
Just
prawn
not
with
like
garlic and parsley is delicious. And here we have potato chips that are garlic and parsley. So it's true. Potato chip flavors really just show you what people are eating when they're not eating potato chips. I know that's a bit confusing,
Yeah.
but I think there's something in that. Ham, garlic, and parsley. This is a country where we eat a lot of fried eggs, and we have fried egg flavored potato chips. I've never seen these before. Fried egg potato chips. We're buying these. We're taking these back.
That's
I want to try
kinda weird.
these. So we've found Yoli's favorite snack when she was growing up.
Pelotazos, so delicious. So it's actually the kind of the greasiest snack in the market. So you can just get one of these. It's pelotas bowls, like football bowls. So you just get one of those on the floor and then just step on it. And then when you withdraw the paste, there's like this stain of like grease on the floor.
Wow, let's get a pack.
Oh,
That sounds
gosh.
great.
Yummy.
Sometimes when you're in a tapas bar, you'll get given pork rinds, cortezas,
Pork rinds.
as a tapa, and man, they are dangerous. You have about 3 of those, and you're gonna have a stomachache. I always find. And I love these ones. They have like this little ham with like corteza with pork rind coming out of it. Curious, sort of odd, a little bit scary. And then for those rich people out there, you have Iberian potato chips. Not just normal ham potato chips, Iberian ham potato chips. Huge canned olive section behind me, but little tip is that
A lot of ham. What's the popular dish that's in, or was that Portugal? I know Portugal and Spain probably eat some of the similar foods, but I do remember seeing it was like it's like a plate with like a ton of ham and like sausage in it, and then they throw it in like a hot oven and they put an egg on top of it. That makes a lot of sense now, seeing all of the ham flavored and egg flavored chips.
if the supermarket you're going to has a fresh olive section, that's where you want to go, and we're going to go to there after this. I wouldn't buy the canned stuff.
Oh, cool.
They're fine, but fresh is kind of tastier. A classic Spanish snack, the most classic Spanish snack, and a real challenge for me are pipas, sunflower seeds, and you buy them, they're covered in salt. I know you eat these in the States, for example, at baseball games, and you open them with your teeth and suck out the pip with the seed with your tongue.
Yeah, they're
For
good.
idiots like me who still can't figure it out, you have peeled ones. What are they called? Peladas. I don't know if you say peeled. And so you're just going to eat them directly.
Oh,
They're
that takes
same.
all the
I
fun
would
out
eat
of it.
Those are like training wheel pipas because I can't get it. Can't figure it out. I feel like I'm always going to split my teeth in two or something. And you see people who've been eating them. There's just a pile of shells all around them. Okay, my personal challenge to you is: can you handle white asparagus? These guys, they're super scary,
white asparagus.
And I hope my mother-in-law's not watching because she
This was popular in Germany too, isn't it?
serves them Christmas, and it's like I
Every
have to.
weekend almost.
Over every weekend. Look at this guy. Wow. I have to I choke my way through them.
I would love to
mean,
get down
I
on
eat pretty
some of
much
those.
everything, and I eat them, but white asparagus, still not there yet. Still not there.
Mayonnaise always.
With mayonnaise, always so gluggy, so gross.
Yes.
This is an
That's so
entire
funny.
section
They eat mayonnaise on it.
dedicated to white asparagus.
Wow.
The bane of my gastronomic existence in Spain. They're not cheap either. If you love these, and a lot of people do, they're a delicacy. This one here, you get 10 to 14 white asparagus in this can. 11 euros. 11 euros.
Oh,
Remember,
wow.
you can buy an entire ham for 30 euros. So, man, yeah, you can spend a lot of money on white asparagus if you're really into it. White gold.
That's
Do you like
pretty
white
crazy.
asparagus?
Is my mom watching?
Yoli's Spanish, and even she's not convinced on the white asparagus thing.
Yeah.
You need to figure this out. Do you love white asparagus? Love it or hate it? Let me know below. It's always interesting.
I
in a
wanna try it.
supermarket when you have traditional dishes, but done in a pre-packaged form, things that you would never have in another country. So here we have Madrid stew, cocido madrileño, which is the classic meat, vegetable, and chickpea stew that you have in winter and is really delicious in a can. Cocido madrileño in a can. We also have up here callos a la madrileña in a can. So that is tripe stew, Madrid tripe stew. So, I mean, you wouldn't necessarily even get these maybe in other parts
Tripe stew? Which tripe?
of Spain. I don't know, maybe in a little bit, but these are regional pre-packaged produce. One of the delicacies in this country is canned seafood. Now, the idea might freak you out a little bit. I mean, we have wonderful fresh seafood, but we also have amazing canned seafood.
I grew up on these. My grandma used to always buy tons of these different canned seafoods. Always crack them open, anchovies, anything like that on a little cracker. So good.
Huge tradition of it. Often shellfish, for instance, can actually be more expensive in the can than it was fresh, because the idea is if it's canned well, it's a wonderful way to preserve seafood, and it actually improves with flavor. I've read about famous Michelin-star Spanish chefs who one of their favorite food memories is to get a great can of canned can of canned cockles, open them up, a little lemon on it, and just sit there and eat them. And I totally understand. So you have to try it when you come to visit. So we have canned
I would love to try
calamari
those.
in American sauce, salsa americana, which is like a tomato sauce, I believe. Canned squid in its black ink from Galicia, from the north. Squid, again, in its own ink. Do you think the Velasquez family gets commission on these canned calamari and American sauce? Canned razor clams, canned scallops, canned fake
Wow.
baby shrimp.
That's a
fake
lot of
baby eel,
canned
sorry. Canned
seafood.
clams, canned cod liver, very specific. Canned mayulas, I don't even know what mayulas are. I've never seen them before. Love the packaging. Oh, look at that.
Baby eels,
Canned
fake baby
cockles.
eels.
And poton. Poton is like weird bottom crawling, octopusy sort of calamari type thing. Very vague, I know. Sorry about that. We'll look it up. And stuffed squid in its own ink, I think. So you can see there's an enormous section here dedicated to canned mussels. These are all canned mussels. So many brands. I can never get over how many brands there are. One little thing that I actually really love about the canned seafood in this country is the packaging. There are so many brands of canned seafood, and a large proportion of the packaging looks like it hasn't been updated since like the 1950s or 60s. I love that font. It's such an old school font. And of course,
Yeah,
we're in the land
looks
of
good.
olive oil. Spain makes almost half the world's olive oil, and the average Spaniard eats or drinks 2.5 gallons, which is 10 liters of olive oil a year. And you can see the huge array
Look
here,
at
from
all
little
of
boutique
that.
brands to
Oh
more
my
industrial
gosh.
brands, everything from normal to virgin to extra virgin. Let's check some of the prices out, because even extra virgin is really cheap here, and that's why if you're in Spain, you got to eat the extra virgin. We've got extra virgin. It's the supermarket's brand, and it's €3.59 for a liter. Let me know, actually. I'm really interested in the comments. How does that compare to the price of olive oil in your country? So the cheap.
My wife usually is the one that buys the olive oil, but when I have looked, I don't like buying the cheapest store brand, but like I might go up a step above that. I'm gonna say somewhere like $8 or $9, so that would be what, like 10 or 11 euros for like just a basic brand of extra virgin olive oil. And if you want like a really, really nice bottle, you're spending like $20 at least.
$3.59 for a liter. And an important thing to remember is when it doesn't say virgin or extra virgin, if it just says 0.4 or 0.4, that is just normal olive oil. And actually that is what I'm going to call, technically in a sense, lampante oil, because historically it was used for lamp oil. So of course those were a little bit more industrial olive oils.
Lamp
we can
oil.
spend more. You know, we do have boutique or really high grade olive oil in this country. This one, for example, is 500 mils, and that's €8.60, so a lot more expensive.
Still,
that's organic. One thing to keep in mind, extra
probably so
virgin
good.
olive oil in Spain is actually a technical term. It means it's passed a smell test, a taste test, and a chemical test, so you can be guaranteed that it's high quality if it says extra virgin. We had Velasquez on the canned calamari in its own ink.
I didn't know
and now
that.
we have Goya on the olive oil. That's not Goya, obviously. That's the Duchess of Alba, but Goya painted it. Here's something you wouldn't see in an English-speaking country is washing powder or washing liquid called colon. If you like sparkling water, Vichy Catalan is actually quite a yummy one. It's a little bit salty, but it always makes me think of Vichy, of occupied France and the Vichy collaborators. The beer from Madrid is called Mao. And if you're hardcore and you're having a party, this is what you want to buy. They're called litronas.
Wow.
And that is a liter, as the name suggests, of beer. And so litrona means that. And that's how you buy it when people are coming over. Big thing. Well, that's how we buy it anyway. And so behind me, all this beer along here is alcohol-free. And Spain is one of the leaders in alcohol-free beer. It's really interesting because this is a beer-drinking country more than it is in a way a wine-drinking country. So many people drink beer. And so if you can't drink beer for whatever reason, for health reasons, or you're pregnant, or whatever it is, there's a huge industry of zero alcohol beer. And you'll see it'll be 0.0. And that's how you know. Every brand has one. All the bars have zero alcohol beer. I've even seen TV commercials for zero alcohol beer. And there's an image of a pregnant woman, like with her belly, with a baby in it, drinking a zero alcohol beer. So it's super accepted, and you'll see it everywhere.
Wow.
I find it tastes weird. Something happens when you take the alcohol out, that something goes wrong. Call me crazy. One thing when
I don't think you're crazy. I've had an alcohol-free beer before, and yeah, they're okay. You know who makes a really good one is Heineken. Heineken makes a really good alcohol-free beer. My father-in-law drinks it because he doesn't drink anymore, and I had a sip of it, and it was surprisingly like really good. It just tasted like a normal beer, like a normal Heineken. I was pleasantly surprised.
First moved to Spain 8 years ago, craft beer was just not a thing. And now it's really pretty big, again, because this is a big beer drinking country. And you'll find, this is one of the earlier ones here, it came in Madrid, La Virgen, and they have a jamonera beer. Jamonera. I think they said once it goes well with a ham sandwich, bocadillo de jamón. And so now you'll see a huge range of local beers, Madrid beers. The movement started really in Catalonia. And of course, the big industrial brands are now making their own huge beer industry. Madrid beer brand is Cibeles, named after the goddess in the fountain statue in the center of the city. And here we have the brown-haired girl and the blonde-haired girl, Morena y Rubia. Ole mi morena. So you'll see a huge gin selection always in Spain because we're massive gin drinkers here. You'll see in bars people drink big balloon-sized glasses of gin. They drink it after the meal, not before, not as a cocktail, because we'll have something like vermouth or sherry or something else beforehand. So huge gin selection behind and the gin and tonics. Yeah, I mean it's a craze. It's dying down a little.
I could see gin being like a good after meal drink cocktail. Also, though, no, yeah, it wouldn't be really like a palate cleanser because it has a really distinct taste to it.
A little bit, but they're large. And often the bartender just keeps pouring and he'll stop when you tell him to stop. For the vermouth lovers out there, we have pretty decent selection. Pretty serious.
Yeah.
And if you're a really serious vermouth drinker, you can get a box of it. You can't even lift it, let alone drink it. But that's if you're
crazy.
A serious aperitivo freak. And look at this guy, 1.5 liters of vermouth. That's white vermouth, 1.5 liters. By the way, little tip. If you're in Spain, don't drink martini. I call it the Coca-Cola of vermouth. So you want to get the local stuff, not the international brand. So this is still wine country. We do drink a lot of beer, but we make a lot of wine, even though we don't drink as much as we used to. So time for a little game. I'm going to try and find the cheapest wine here in the supermarket and the most expensive. See how we go, because wine can be pretty cheap in this country. To be clear on the rules, I'm going to rule out boxed Tetra Brick wine. This one is a liter for 90 cents. I feel like we need to stick to the glass.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have found the cheapest wine here. It's called Elegido, which means the chosen one. And it's a Tempranillo. It's $1.96 for a liter. It says superior, calidad superior, high quality. Who am I to judge? And it says here on the back, it's from Spain, it's Tempranillo, and it goes well with tapas, as if that's a food group, red meats, and cheeses. So, I mean, it sounds great. Also goes well with a great hangover the next day, no doubt. There's another one that's actually a little bit cheaper, but it's sold out. So obviously in demand, it must be even better than the Elegido. So we found the most expensive one, 259 euros for Vega Sicilia Unico, which is a wine from Ribera del Duero, a region a few hours north of here, very hot region.
It's not too bad.
And it's one of Spain's most famous wines. So a lot of supermarkets wouldn't have a wine.
I say it's not too bad. Yes, it's very expensive, but I've seen some bottle of wine. I used to serve quite a few expensive bottles of wine back in the day, so I've seen some stuff that really gets up there.
That good. Actually, supermarket wine selections are often pretty lacking in this country, but this is a really big supermarket, so it does. So often you'll find the most expensive one will be around maybe 15 euros max, and everything downhill to 165 or whatever that other one was. But my little tip, if you want to drink great wine when you're in Spain, I would stick away from anything under 6 euros. The minute you hit 9, 10, hit up to 12 euros, you're going to drink some really good wine. And the cheap stuff, it's fine, but it still can taste pretty cheap. So I would say
that's so funny because here in the States, if you want a good bottle of wine, it's not 9 euros would be whatever. I'm not really good at the math. Or would that be $8, $7.75? So here in the States, if you want a good bottle of wine, you want to spend, I would say at least over $20. And then you're starting to get a pretty good bottle of wine. Somewhere between 15 and 20 is, decent. Over 20 though is really when you start getting the good stuff.
6-7 euros and upwards, but I don't know. What do you guys drink? Let me know what you drink when you're in Spain, and maybe I'm completely wrong and I'm a wine snob and you're shut the hell up. So we'll see. A little anecdote here: if you're not drinking wine in a bar and you want a non-alcoholic drink, you drink mosto. Mosto is effectively
this girl work there behind him.
One thing I love about this brand, grape, it's what Yoli's parents sometimes drink, is that it's spelled G-R-E-I-P, because then if you don't speak English and you're Spanish and you pronounce it grape, it sounds like you're saying grape, but with your Spanish accent. If it was spelled like we spell it, G-R-A-P-E, people would say grape. So my mother-in-law says, quiero un poquito de grape. I feel like grape. And it's been spelled perfectly for that. So kind of genius, really, right? Of course, you know how much we love gazpacho, that cold tomato soup. In this country, we have like a whole mini section here of different gazpachos that, in the end, they're all pretty similar, I guess, but different brands. And we've got a gourmet one down here with almond in it. We've also got up here salmorejo, which is the slightly thicker style of tomato puree soup. You don't drink as much, but you do it with a spoon. So serious gazpacho section here. So while we're in the cold soup section, salmorejo and gazpacho, also when you're in Spain and it's summer, see if you can get ajo blanco, which means white garlic, but it's actually made from ground up almonds, and it's this beautiful white almond cold soup with garlic in there, often served with grapes. And in summer, it's so refreshing. In case you missed the cured meats in the other spot, we've got a whole aisle of cured meats here again, of sausage and
more
chorizo and salchichon, just in case, of course. York, Y-O-R-K, like the city in England, that is the name we have for what we call English-style ham, which is boiled ham. This is this is not the best-looking version of it. It comes better, but jamón York is exactly that, is boiled classic ham, like they might have in New Zealand, for example. And what the hell is this? Chopped? It's literally just called chopped, or choped if you're speaking Spanish. So that is a word that's come into the Spanish language, obviously from English, and we call it here choped, and it just means really cheap cuts of processed ham. So keep away from the choped, stick to the jamón ibérico de bellota, please. More tapas, in this case mushrooms and garlic. And a little close in the dry bread or crackers. You can do better than this than the frozen version, even though it says gourmet. So I'd make it at home with fresh mushroom and garlic. Patatas bravas, frozen patatas bravas.
But still.
Okay, closer to tapas than some of the other things we've seen, but you can get better patatas bravas in a bar than probably these frozen ones. Okay, so it's getting real here in the supermarket, almost political, because we're in the sabores del mundo, flavors of the world, and we have churros rellenos. Now, why would churros be in the international section in a Spanish supermarket? But that's because these are stuffed or filled churros, filled with chocolate. We don't stuff churros in this country with chocolate. A barbarity that's been brought in. We just have them plain and dipped in chocolate. And the other thing, fideuà. Now, this is a Catalan dish. It's kind of like paella, but it uses little noodles instead of rice. And so they've got a Catalan dish in the flavors of the world section. So I don't know if it's a political statement or just sheer recklessness, but that could cause an incident. Frozen paella. Yes, we also eat frozen. Well, we don't eat frozen paella in Spain, but they have frozen paella in Spain.
Someone eats it.
This one says you can cook it in 5 minutes. No good paella was ever made in 5 minutes. How long should it take?
No.
An hour?
Yeah.
45 minutes an hour. Now, this is a country that knows how to do the aperitif. Look at this section of the supermarket behind me of all these olives and pickled skewers of things. And even they actually cut and fry their own potato chips here, because it's such a huge tradition of potato chips in this country.
That's so cool.
Homemade potato chips, pickled eggplant, olives, just so much going on. And so I fell in love with the aperitif tradition in this country. You can see why. Look at this. Amazing. Best way this.
We do have this, a much smaller version, though. And it's always so damn expensive. If you want to get like any fresh olives and stuff like that, they really get you on the price.
Let's start the day with the aperitif. That would mean you're an alcoholic.
Guys, we made it out alive. Stealth mission complete. I've got my little carrito here. Thumbs up if you enjoyed that little exploration of a Spanish supermarket. Subscribe if you want to explore more of...
Oh, that's hilarious. The subscribe button lit up right when he said subscribe. I'm gonna go ahead and subscribe. Give a thumbs up. Spain revealed. Good video, man. I really enjoyed that. Not what I was expecting, but pleasantly surprised still. All right, and if you guys enjoyed this video, hit the thumbs up button on your way out, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.